All right. Hello. Hello, everybody. First things first, can you hear us? Before. Yo, if you can hear us. Wait, Chief, say something. Say something.
Put R in the chat for Rosewood if you can hear me.
They're already saying R though. Say I can hear you. We hear you.
Okay, so if you can hear me, put C in the chat for Chief then.
Yes,
Here.
put C in the chat for yes, we can hear you. Perfect. All right, then. Hello, everybody. It's me, Molo, and this is the Molo360 podcast, and I'm here with Chiefahleaf. Woo! Chiefahleaf is ahead because he chooses to keep his identity secret. So I have a head, vaporwave head that is in place. Anyways, yes. All right. First and foremost, what I like to ask everybody is like, who are you and what do you do?
All right. Looks like they're saying I'm a little quiet on your side. Let's see
Oh,
if we try to boost you a bit.
I got you. Let me boost you. All right, say something.
All right. Saying something. Do I sound better?
I hope that sounds best. I wonder what Chiefahleaf looks like. Says unreally.
I wonder what I look like as well.
Okay. Anyone who gazes upon the eyes of Chief will surely die. Alright, is Chief's um does Chief sound better to you guys? Better. Thank you, Metal. Thank you so much. Alright. So yeah, I'll ask you again. Who are you and what do you do, Chief? Please tell the crowd.
Okay. Okay. Where to begin? Let's see. I like long walks on the beach. Usually like walking my dog. I mean, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, wrong script. So I guess hi everybody. I am Chief Relief here. Usually I guess I'm a vaporwave fan as well. I usually mostly make video edits and music videos usually for vaporwave artists and future funk artists in the scene usually, and I'm also usually the group coordinator for the VA10 Association as well.
Hmm. The what was that? The group coordinator?
Yeah, I usually organize the projects lately for the VA10 Association. I guess I was the founder and usually just a lead organizer for it.
Wow, that's so awesome. That's a big deal. VA10 means a lot to the vaporwave community. I think I remember you talking about that and like also getting an invite from you. That's Rosewood's like my in on everything. Um, so you do visual art usually, right?
Yeah, I guess you can call me sort of a visual artist. I guess I'm more of a video editor. I guess the best way to clarify it.
Yeah, video editor. I've seen some of your work and it's super cool. Um, I love the like. It's like in some of your works, you have archived or found videos that literally are so hard to find. I like wonder how the hell did you find these videos?
For me, I usually look on Internet Archive and some other archives as well, such as Wayback Machine. And
Hmm.
usually, the hunt of the game is I definitely spend hours looking for those footages. Like it takes me way longer than usual to find stuff like that. So it's definitely the biggest part about it. It's just definitely searching for archive, and that takes hours the most.
It takes hours.
Yeah, usually it'll take me about a couple of hours, usually a day if I really want to look for something and finish it in one day.
Wow. Oh my god. You must have like. Do you like also work? Do you?
Yeah, I also do have a real life job as well, so I have to balance that on top as well.
Oh my god. So you work like hours upon hours a day just finding these things, and then also on top of that, working a normal job. Wow. You must have like a good time management, would you say? Or
I would say decent, at least 6 out of 10
six out of
management.
10. Ooh, Tropical Virtual is here, and I just want to say hello. I really loved your visuals for Matt Watson. So you have a YouTube channel with all your videos, and or probably most of them. Um, you want to talk about that? Like, how did that get started? And...
Yeah, sure. So I probably would say about 3 years ago. I probably would say when I was finishing up college. I always been definitely like always been like good at video editing. I guess what everybody tells me. I used to do high school video editing for news or school news and stuff like that. And people used to say I was the best, I guess, out of everybody usually for editing. So, but I kind of just like took that in the back of my mind for a good couple of years until back in college. I was like, you know what? I was seeing a bunch of vaporwave music videos, and back by that time back then, it was mostly just people made usually just GIF music videos, and it's just like no one had a full vision of what you should do with these videos or with this music.
Mhm.
So back then, like about 3 years ago, was since I was kind of like wanting to research into a little bit of cinematography myself, was I did make some custom music videos back then that just was me shooting my own footage and then making with the songs of it, but I found it was okay. I definitely put those videos away. Mostly, I do have just one remaining left that I do personally like myself. But then around 2 years ago is when I started actually making music videos, just because
Mhm.
I usually the my one of my definitely one of my favorite vapor artists fans or vapor artists ever is Saint Pepsi, and I just felt like you know what I feel like I want to do this song. I want to do it right. I want to get the visuals that can really deliver it home. So I did make my first video with Car Park, and I
Wow.
just really enjoyed that. And people started giving it a positive feedback on it, so I just kept doing it with different songs, and that's where here I am today. Definitely, just now have over 64 videos on my channel, and especially with sets lately.
Yeah, you've done a set with Groovy Kaiju, Young Shiro, Vaporwave Shine, Hawaii 94, and Dan Soko. I wrote this down, by the way. I'm like, I saw that you posted on your YouTube all those people, and you like usually, I feel like you usually post your sets on.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
yeah I usually try to make sure that definitely try to archive those sets because in some way, especially just on my channel, just because I put a lot of time in those, and I definitely want to keep that art somewhere. And usually that's best on my channel.
Yeah, that's great. Like, there's so many streams that I wish I could like look back on. So it's really awesome that you do that. Um, I don't know, it's like sweet. Oh, by the way, I just want to say that Tropical Virtual was like, "Yo, my boy Chief," and then also Skeleton Lipstick was like, "Chief is def a great visualist," and I wanted to point that out because that's really sweet.
Yeah, yeah. Tropical Virtual is definitely a fantastic visuals, and I did meet him at Electronicon too, and he's a fantastic guy.
Mhm. Yeah, he
And also,
is.
just Dr. Chris, thank you very much for the compliment as well. It definitely means a lot to me.
Yeah, and Torch 2424, which is Groovy Kaiju, said, "Yeah, Chief is amazing to do a set with," which I saw, which was awesome that you did a set with Groovy. Yeah, and you also did a few music videos with Groovy's songs. I really like the Kingdom Hearts one. That one was awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite as well. I had some. I guess when I did the visual set for Groovy, I definitely saw some videos that had really good potential to finish out the entire song, so that's why I chose 3. I've now officially finished them and made them as music videos, just because I really wanted to finish it and drive it home with those.
Mhm. So, how, like, with music videos like that, how is that created? You wanna behind the scenes with us right now?
Let me I don't know. I usually get this question a lot. Definitely is how do I make them? And it's
Mhm.
usually just I don't have I guess a formula to it. It's not just A plus ABC plus C equals answer. I guess usually
Mhm.
for me, I guess is how I guess the best way to break it down for me is I usually take a look at a song. I definitely listen to it a couple times and definitely get a visual idea or a visual story in my head of what I feel like or should be represented when I listen to a song. Then I definitely just look around for a while, just in archives or any videos to see something that catches me. I guess when I'm still in the mood for it, and then if something clicks with me, I just line it up there. Then I spend countless hours just now reworking all those visuals together to make something very coherent for me, and I
Mhm.
definitely just post that there, and that's what I usually do. It's just it's not usually, I guess, not based on timing for me. It's definitely just on mood and feeling for me, mostly of all.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome. So like I like that you're like Aaron said the same thing that like it depends on his mood or like how he feels with a song. So that's really cool cuz how you feel structures the way you work, and it's not like a big it's not like you have a corporation being like, you have to do something. It's like what it's like your feeling. I don't know. I think it's cool.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's definitely a very. I guess I'm always been told I definitely have a different take on how to do stuff like this, but I'm glad that everybody does like it the way I do.
Yeah. Cuz like if you didn't go by your feeling, if you didn't like it yourself, like that would not be cool. Yeah. So how did you get into like this music genre? Like you mentioned you do these visuals for like um future funk and vaporwave. Like how did you get into those genres?
I guess the most earliest memory I do remember for getting into vaporwave was funny thing was actually I got into electronic music around early 2010s, basically during my high school years, and I definitely just like it caught me, but what definitely caught me back into it was definitely there was a video I did watch from a YouTube channel called This Exists, and it was pretty much like the top 10 weirdest music genres ever, and like
Mhm.
vaporwave was put like at number 8 or something like that. And I listened to it. He's like, "Is it just weird?" I was like, "Actually, this is not bad. I'm actually like really messing with this right now." And I just went down a giant rabbit hole with it for a while. Mac Plus, Echo Jams, and kind of caught on for it a little while. Then I definitely walked away for it for a bit. Kind of did some other things, and finally came back to it again back in 2016, and then finally just got back into it. Definitely listened to the whole, mostly to the major classics, and here I am now, especially just making music videos for as much as I can.
Yeah. Would you say that the pandemic has like helped you like broadcast your skills basically? Like promote
Uh,
you?
I definitely do agree. The situation definitely improved me a little more better, especially since a lot of these online venue and events have been starting happening. They definitely started asking me a lot to do stuff for that, so it's definitely challenged me a lot, and I definitely feel like that definitely helped me a lot to especially be more experimental.
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah. I feel like for visual artists right now, like these URL shows are awesome and you guys like put a lot of work. What do you think about like being paid and like or just doing it for exposure? Or is that like a topic you don't want to talk about?
It's definitely a good topic to talk about. I do
Mhm.
think it's definitely a 50-50. You need to definitely it definitely feel nice to definitely get compensated in some ways financially, especially for spending the amount of time that we do work on these for these
Mhm.
artists to definitely have a visual companionship to it.
Mhm.
But also it's feel nice as well to get some. notoriety as well. Just definitely get the word out, especially what we do, especially if we can go and attend more events, but definitely applying our skills as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Cuz I remember like talking with people and being like, you know, like this is a lot of work and like sometimes people on in these URL shows don't even like really promote the visual artist sometimes like they forget to post their socials or anything like that and it's like what was the point of like doing it or like putting all that work and stuff like it's so I don't know it's not nice it's not nice at all it's like but yeah have you
Yeah,
dealt with
I
that at
definitely feel
all.
that. Usually not too much. It's definitely like this genre has definitely been better, especially about giving the notices to visual artists a lot, especially with the posters.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
it did seem like about around the beginning of these URL events was definitely it kind of felt like that, but now since it's kind of like very hand in hand now, it's definitely what the posters do show, and it definitely is really nice about that since vaporwave is definitely a visual and music genre together.
Mhm.
It goes very hand in hand. You can't have one without the other to really look at.
Yeah, I would say vaporwave is super visual, like oriented. Like there's a whole aesthetic to vaporwave, and you have to have the look as well as the sound, which is very important. And not everyone can do both. Um, most people, yeah, not everyone can do both. Um, uh, How do you go about working with these URL shows and like these people, like these musicians or musical artists? Sorry, like how?
So, hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So usually, I guess my process is definitely very different. I guess for most conversations when I do visuals for artists, is it seems like most of the time these most of the time the artists will give you some ideas and I'll try to think about it. But usually, like I said, it's definitely just based on what I feel at that moment. I might just take some of those notes and completely throw it out and just apply my own direction with it sometimes.
Mhm.
And sometimes when I do that, they think like, "Oh, you did definitely a way more accurate idea of what I wanted to do with it." Especially if you just took the notes and just threw it out the window and just did it your own way. I'm like, so I'm very unorthodox in that style.
Oh, that's fine. Like, so like you you do it your own thing. That's what you mean by unorthodox. Like, yeah.
Yeah, where usually when you do talk with an artist, to be like, "I can you try to get somebody's footage about this certain place or this certain thing to feel about, like such as this song it should be more beach focused. Do you think you can make more footage on beach or anything like that?" Like
Mhm.
I feel like it could possibly just be this instead, and I just apply that, and usually the artist would be will usually respond with, "Okay, I could definitely agree. That looks like definitely a better approach."
Mhm.
Sometimes.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's like an actor, like Mad Living or like adding their own script to a movie and the director actually going with it because it was a better direction. I would say that's similar. And that's really cool that you could do that. Be like, yo, I have a great idea. I think you'll like this. So how did Okay, well, you mentioned that you got into video editing due to like music, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, just with music is definitely what I got into it.
Hmm. Like, what's your favorite part about video editing? Is it like the end or is it like the start? Like, do you get excited that you're on this new project or is it like, the end?
Usually, I think my favorite part is definitely once you do get some of those clips together and you start building, they start building together this small story together, and once you do see like at least half of the video looks complete, where you can see everything's just going together. That's definitely the nice part, and of course, definitely the most satisfying thing as ever is once you play it in one go, and it just looks perfect in my eyes. I can't see nothing wrong with it currently.
That's awesome. What project would you say is like the best thing you've ever produced?
Oh man, that's a tough choice there.
We have time. We can go back to that. I'll let you think.
Okay. Yeah,
um,
I'll definitely think about that because I do have 64 videos, and it's definitely all of them are definitely like are equal to me. Like I do like all of them.
oh,
They're
well, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you just think like all of them are equally your babies, perfect. That's awesome.
but I guess the only one I can say, the one that I do feel like the most that gives me, I guess like I do look at the best, is definitely was one of my most recent edits for Tupperwave's music videos, where I
Mm.
guess that what took me on the whole URL events was when Tupperwave did during the first Vapor Space event
Hmm.
about a couple months back. Tupperwave was playing his set with visuals, and my music video popped up in there out of surprise, which definitely surprised me a lot. And I just felt like it just blew my mind to be to have
Aw.
one of my music videos showing, especially from Tupperwave, especially showed he always liked my work, and it was just fantastic to see it like that
Aw, that's
with like
so
thousands of people looking at it.
amazing. Wow, that is so cute. Oh my god, did you guys like did were you able to get in contact and be like, that's awesome? Or like, we should work together?
Yeah, I definitely do talk to Tup every once in a while, especially he's definitely a pretty chill guy to talk to all the time. Especially like I did tell him to. I was like, no way, you really put my video on there? He's like, yeah. I was like, you just want to surprise me? I was like, okay.
That's awesome. Groovy says, I'm biased, but I really like Chief's Groovy Kaiju Flamingo Funk Fest set. Sorry. Flamingo Funk set.
That one is definitely a pretty good one too, especially with the most recent views is like skyrocketing for that set a lot as well for the channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it's around close to 500 views already, which is definitely a lot.
Mhm. I saw that when it came out. When I watched Flamingo Fest. I was there for that. That was awesome. Really proud of both of you, honestly. I'm sorry I'm so awkward. But
No, it's pretty fine.
you did a video, not a video. You did a collab with Hawaii 94 for his set. How was that?
For that one's definitely was. It seemed like Hawaii 94 was definitely a really nice guy to talk to, especially on this. He really definitely for him he just gave me the audio file and just said go with it. Like he said, go do anything you like. I seen your earlier work, just do anything with it. I'm like, all right. So I did take that as a complete challenge to see what I could do with it. When I
Mm.
did first show him the results after, he just said it was perfect from the start. I was just like, I didn't have to make any prior changes or anything like that, which is definitely it definitely surprised me a lot.
Wow. That's awesome. Do you ever feel like flushed with like happiness when an artist like Hawaii 94 or Tupperware like say those things? You like,
Yeah,
uh,
it definitely does feel nice to definitely hear some artists, especially like I was a big fan of. Just definitely just feel like I really delivered on what visually they should have in their mind. So it definitely makes me feel a little happy every time I do hear a compliment like that.
mm-hmm. CompuServe says, remember us when you're famous, Chief.
Who are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Who are you? Oh my god. Yeah, Chief. Well, Torch2424 says, yeah, Chief is definitely a one and done, perfect every time visualist. Happy face. That's so sweet.
I don't know about one and done. I definitely it does take me definitely the longest time to do production. I guess usually sometimes I'll take about I say one of the most recent edits I ever did. It took me around 8 to 12 hours in one day to finish it.
Oof. well, well, you put in the hard work and it looks amazing. Everything you do.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah.
so
Thank you very much. It definitely makes me smile every time to see like the visuals are outreaching beyond what I thought of in the first place when I made them.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what do you have planned next? Do you want to like give out any or I don't know.
I guess I can definitely give one out for now, just because the the most closest event is definitely the next Rosewood event that is happening at the end of this month. I am doing visuals for a back-to-back set between Vaporwave, Shine, and Mittens. So it's definitely a big challenge for me, and I'm just working on it currently right now.
That's awesome. Two sets back to back. Is that so? Is that like a lot of work?
It's definitely a little more different than usually, since especially with just normal sets, it's just one person's take of what they want to switch for. But since it's a back-to-back, it's definitely two perspectives I have to grab and make sure it lines up perfectly.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a different take, but I do like a challenge, especially just
Mm. Do you have a favorite set that you've worked on?
I guess. I I'm not too sure about that. I don't think I have a favorite. I like all. I guess I like all the sets because at least for now, what I worked with, they're definitely all different tastes. They don't
mhm.
feel like the same thing,
Mhm.
especially with the music the artists were working with. I definitely like just working with different takes every time. So I do like all of them so far, and I don't think any of them are completely like my one out, my number one or anything. I do like all of them.
Well, Groovy's here if you just want to like I'm just kidding. I know that's like touchy. It's like you don't want to be like, if someone's my favorite. Um so, uh did you always like want to like be a video editor? Like when you were younger, were you like, that's cool, people do this?
For me, I guess usually back then was like I guess it usually began because back in high school I started getting into film a lot, especially watching movies, and then I just kind of fell in love with the idea about cinematography, the way how things were lit up, how the things way they look. So I just looked into that a little more. Then I did take a editing class for high school just because they gave that as an elective. So I tried that,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave us a test with iMovie back then for the Max. So I just definitely messed with that for a while. Just made short movies with them. And I just like putting everything together like that, making everything line up perfectly with editing. It just never left me after that. I just definitely wanted to keep editing. Even though I took a break for a while after high school, I just came back to it finally. It feels great. I do just like to keep my definitely show my work visually somehow.
That's awesome. So this is like a passion for you? Like, this is something you just love to do?
Yeah, it's I definitely say it's definitely one of my passions and definitely one of my passions in life. Especially after getting off my normal day job and go to my actual real job I would love to do all the time. It
Hmm.
definitely keeps me.
Would you like to make this like a career?
If there ever was a chance I could take to do that, yes, I definitely would love to definitely edit for more artists and or movies. In fact, just I would love to definitely just do this as a full day job if I can just edit things. Do that as just, and get paid the same amount. I would love to do that if I ever get a chance.
Oh my god. If you were like an editor for movies, that would be so cool. As well as like for music, that's well, music videos nowadays are basically movies, just 3 minutes or a little longer, 3 to 5 minutes. And it's so cool how people can get so much like in one like 3 minutes. I don't know. Would you ever want to be a visual editor for like a pop star?
I would love
And
to try
big.
that. I would like to try that take just
Uh
because
huh.
there is some music videos that are really interesting of how the way they shoot it, and then
Mhm.
to really make that work together. Like there is some really interesting takes to do, and I wouldn't mind putting my try on it, especially for a popular artist or a pop artist.
Who would you want to work with?
Hmm. I guess the first thing for me would be I'm definitely more of an advocate towards rap. It's definitely my second favorite genre most of the time. So I definitely would like to work with rap artists, especially doing that type of style.
Would you like to work with Travis Scott?
I'm more of a definitely a Kendrick Lamar, I guess.
Oh my
I would definitely
god,
like to.
yes! Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, especially the way he shoots his music videos. I would like to really try that.
Yeah, I mean, like, he always has something to say, and his music videos portray, like, how strong his words come off. So that's cool. That would be really cool to see. If you did that, that would be super cool. We gotta, like, bombard Kendrick Lamar and be like, yo, this guy could be your new video editor, director, all that. Chief's got the style, or yeah, the talents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely really talented. I do love most of his work, especially his lyrics show, which is fantastic. And his
CompuServe asked, Chief, do you do Dragon Ball Z AMVs?
sadly no, but I'll let you know when if I start working in that area, officer.
Have you ever done an anime AMV other than, I mean, like, oh wait, yeah, Space Dandy. Yeah, you did. I
I
just
have
recently watched that one
I have done two recently for now.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the Space Sandy one was my most recent work for Groovy Kaiju, and then I did one
Mhm.
before as well. Was for one of Young Bae's less famous songs, and that one just grabbed me. Especially the footage for that one I used was for an anime called the Yorsai Yasurbi.
Mhm.
So I definitely only did anime twice, I think, in my for now.
Did Young Bae see it, or would you know
I
that?
I am not too sure. Usually, most of the time, some artists will see it fully, but they won't tell me sometimes.
Ah, it's so
But sometimes later
frustrating.
on, but sometimes later they will tell me like, "Oh, I did see your work." I'm like, "You didn't tell me, I guess earlier."
Yeah, if you're an artist and watching this, tell tell people that like or tell Chief if you've seen his music video that he used. I mean, your music. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so I'm bad with this speech, but yes. Chief, what's your favorite movie?
My
Ask and
favorite movie,
really.
I guess, definitely one of my favorite movies recently. It seems like every time I have to watch it, it just always grabs me. Is definitely Blade Runner 2049. I agree, definitely.
That's a good one. I recently watched that like I don't know, a couple months ago. That one's so good. Does that inspire you to like, has that inspired you in some of your visual work? Because
Yeah,
that's compelling.
I definitely do agree. Especially with the way how the editing and the cinematography really works in that one, because I guess it really was coincidentally, or that movie was made by one of my favorite cinematographers ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely just that movie always catches me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie, and the original's really awesome too, visually, for a really old movie. Very
Yeah,
breathtaking.
yeah, it still holds up fantastic. But I definitely do say I'm definitely going to challenge this, but I do say 2049 is a better movie than the original.
Really? You think so?
I think everything is better across the board. The story, the characters, and the world. I definitely feel like it was just it overtopped everything in the original.
I felt like Jared Leto's character sucked though. Everything else was awesome. That's me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I thought, but yeah. Anyways, we don't have
Yeah,
to argue about that.
no, that's definitely a good point. It's definitely a good point. Like,
Yeah. Thank you, Dan Soko, for following. I can't believe you just followed now. Chief, the video you made for Fountain of Dreams is badass, says Enrayli.
oh yeah, thank you very much. Even though it's just a small test footage I just did for about 20 seconds, I believe. I was just testing some kind of concept I was thinking about applying later on. But I definitely do feel like I want to come back to that song eventually and do something with it, but we'll see. I'm definitely just keeping it on the back burner for now.
Mm. And really ask Chief, what inspires you in terms of visuals? What looks cool to you? Question mark.
For me, visually, I guess it's got to be usually the coloring or the lighting just got to really stand out to me in a way that it feels iconic. It's sometimes if there's a good amount of color balance or just a good amount of black and white that just looks perfectly right, I just will definitely take that most of the time. So I'm definitely just a sucker for if you line up everything correctly and if the colors look fantastic, or if it's a black and white and then there's just a good amount of shadow and light, I usually grab that too. So it's just a lot of just once I see it, I grab it immediately.
Mm-hmm. Would you? Oh, well, CompuServe asks, would you? You should do. He's not asking. You should do one with Evanescence, and I'm guessing a video.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure legally wise I can't do that.
Because of copyright.
Yeah, definitely. Copyright's not a. It's not a fun person, not a fun fan of visual editing.
Yeah. What's your opinion on copyright?
Copyright, definitely not cool. I feel like they should definitely reform that better, especially because you should be able to take someone else's work and definitely apply it in other ways to make that completely brand new. That's how it
Mm-hmm.
always should be. So copyright is just definitely it's definitely too old and needs to be modernized for now. What future artists and visual artists do nowadays.
Yeah, I would agree. It's like, yo, but like people base off a lot of their career off remixes and stuff, and that's fine. But when it's like a smaller person, just because like they don't have enough money to pay the copyright bill or whatever, it's like, it sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely not a fun thing to, especially if you want to definitely take something and make art with it, and then you get the law catches you for doing something that you want to just express with, and then it stops you.
Yeah. Sev on the beat. Yep, it's Jacama by Sev that's playing. Hello, Cray, BB. Thank you for dropping in. Chief, how do you control your sexual prowess? Says Dan Soko.
I plead the Fifth Amendment.
That's a that's a good answer. Oh god.
Sorry, Dan Soko. Bomb.
Did you bop him with the horny police baton?
Yes. Yeah. I do take part in the Hanri police, and I bought them.
You have been officially bopped, Stan Soko. um, yeah, okay. Do you want to share any, like, stories? Like, we talked about this before we started, but, like, Econ 2?
Yeah, sure. I could definitely tell one story from Econ too, especially. I guess it was one of the most like I didn't know who they were until somebody had to tell me later type of story. I guess
Mm-hmm.
was I guess I was talking to somebody at the Tape Swap 2 hosted by Pacific Plaza, so I did went there early in the morning that day. But so I went to talk around to everybody. I did meet a lot of people. They were fantastic, especially meet the Wave community finally for the first time in real life. It felt really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially starting to see some names pop up on Twitter or anywhere and start seeing a face to it and voice. Definitely felt really nice. But there was one person I did meet, and when I was talking to him, he was just telling me he was from New Zealand, and we were just talking and talking, and just realized, and then I just caught his name. I was like, I didn't catch his name, so he told me his name was Disaster Music. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, do you do music? And he's like, yeah. He tells me all this about his old music career, and then later on, I took a picture with him and I sent it over to a couple of my friends, and they went like, that was eyeliner. I was like, wait, that was eyeliner? And they're like, how do you not know it was eyeliner? I was like, I didn't know. I just know what his face looked like.
Oh my god. Hey, that's not that bad. You know, it's not like you. I'm gonna call out Nrail. It's not like you were like, hey, are you R2? I mean, are you Equip? Aren't you Equip? And it's actually R23X.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't think I botched that hard yet like that.
Yeah. um, and Rayleigh has a good question. Chief, who else in the scene would you like to do visuals for?
I guess for me, definitely my major end game is if I can definitely do because you will see a bunch from videos from my channel. I do a lot of Saint Pepsi, so I would love to do him or his work when he's a
Yeah.
first set fully.
He seems like, I mean, he's gotten so big, but he seems so, like, humble and he still, you know, talks with the fans and stuff. I think that would be really awesome if, like, he would, I don't know, if we just, like, yo, St. Pepsi, yo, Chief. I don't know. I feel like it's possible because he's a nice guy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, hopefully one of these days. But I definitely do want to do work with a lot of these artists still. Like I do want to work with Luxley one of these times too. If she ever has looks for artists too, I definitely wouldn't mind.
You should put it out there. You really should. I mean, the worst they can say is no.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing I should definitely work on. Is definitely to try to contact more, but I
Yeah,
definitely just keep
cause
myself more lay low.
yeah, cause Lux Elite is like out there now and like doing shows and stuff, and I mean URL shows. It would not hurt to be like, yo, do you need anyone for your visuals? Cause I got you.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. Hopefully for future events when I do get free time, I'll definitely try to see if I can ask around again.
Mhm. um. So I just want. So when you found out, I just want to go back to our what we were talking about. So when you found out that it was eyeliner, um, what? How did you feel?
I definitely felt a little bit dumbfounded. I was like, huh, thinking about this now, especially thinking about certain things that connected dot when I heard about Islander. I was like,
I
I
should
should
have
have really have
known.
known.
Yeah. What if you met him today? Would you be like, How would you like go about that?
For me, I definitely would just say for now. I definitely am like, oh, I didn't know you were this person before, but still just keep our normal conversations like usual. He was just a really cool guy to talk to, just
Mhm.
about everything. So it's just definitely just catch up as usual, but then just say that little there of like, oh, I didn't know you were this person beforehand.
Mhm. For me, I feel like that would have been really great and bad. Unless, okay, if I called them out to be someone that they weren't, I'd feel pretty embarrassed. But to not know someone and like feel completely comfortable with them, um, that would have been cool for me if that happened to me. Because I get really nervous with people who I like seriously care about. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable too.
And really ask, Chief, list your top 5 vaporwave artists.
Oh man, this is definitely a hard choice. All right, so definitely spoiler number one, but I'm not listening in any order based on preference. I guess it's just randomly, but definitely number one would definitely be St. Pepsi for me, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Number two would be is Vape Air. Number three has got to be Cat Corp for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And number four and five for now, that's definitely a really hard choice, but I think the one that always takes me home for now has definitely been Tupperwave has definitely been crawling up my list lately.
Mm-hmm.
And the last artist I can think of right now that's definitely I feel like I listen to him a lot. He is I can pull him up here. Since I'm definitely terrible with the names at the moment.
You're not gonna say Lux Elite? I'm just kidding. It's your list.
Yeah, no, she's definitely on top 10. She's definitely on top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But top five, that's a whole different list I have to make for that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm trying to take a look at still the name for it right now. I probably would say right now it's got to be Dan Mason as my
Hell yes. I love Dan Mason. Dan Mason's also definitely on my top 5. Actually, if I had a top 5, I wouldn't have it in any specific order, but it'd be like DDS, Dan Mason, like Equip uh, if Negative Gemini is like Vaporwave at all, she's part of that list. Um, yeah, and then I don't know. But no one asked me this question. I guess I should finish it. um, I'm gonna pick a random person off my Spotify list. Tokyo Wanderer. Let's go with that. Alright, because no one asked me. But like,
Tokyo Wonder is pretty good. Their Incubus album is fantastic.
so good. Ugh, I love Tokyo Wanderer and the people he collabed with because he has a lot of people on his album as well, which is awesome. Um, and Rail meant uh, and Rail meant to ask though, what are your top 5 vaporwave albums?
Oh man, don't make me choose.
Don't make me choose.
All right, so definitely for one that always comes to mind is definitely St. Pepsi's Winter Circle. That's definitely one of my favorite albums. See, my second favorite album would be is Summer Love by Dan Mason.
Mhm.
That album
Mhm.
is just fantastic. From beginning to end, always. Number three would be actually it's actually a strange pick for me, but actually is "You're Already Dead" by Phoenix 272, and I do also really like a lot too is definitely 100% Electronica from George Clinton. Definitely a. And my fifth album. Wait, no.
Epic.
I was taking a look at the list here really quickly because you're definitely putting me in a hard spot. I think like 5 albums.
When there's so many, like Vaporwave, like you said earlier, you got into a rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole. It's endless music. Endless content.
Agree. Definitely, it's a rabbit hole, and it just keeps going.
It just keeps going, which is great.
And I'm definitely trying to just keep one album to one artist for now. So I'm trying to think of another album. But one I can definitely think of top of my head is definitely Palm All Mars. Definitely, it's probably definitely my fifth album because I do like that Molosoft album. We definitely overdid everything universal as well.
Pretty good. Imagine not having River City by Sev in your top 5.
It's in top 10. It's in top 10. I do like River City a lot. Don't tell Seb this, but yes, it is definitely one of the top 5 recent albums.
Yeah, Sev's music is awesome. And so is CompuServes, and so is Enrayleys. Palm Mall Mars Classic.
And also, yes, Space World. Space World is definitely one of the best albums this year that came out as well.
Yes, Space World 2000. Yes, and Sev, if you're here still, I just want to say you owe me a tape. That's it. That's all I had to say. Yeah. So we have like a whole hour left, and I feel like I asked you like all the questions. If anyone wants to continue with questions, go ahead. You just go ahead. So, who did you meet at Econ 2, Chief?
Oh man.
That you were like, holy shit.
Hey, Groovy, what up?
Let me see. If I can remember correctly, I did meet with, of course, now to be known as Eyeliner. I did meet John or Christ. I did meet Christ, Dan Mason, FM Skyline, Porter Vong, Frank Jeffsey. I did meet St. Pepsi for a little bit as well.
I met him too, for literally a second. He signed my shirt. I have like the little Pepsi sign with wings on my 100p shirt.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't get him to sign anything just because I didn't want to carry anything on during that time, so I didn't get anything signed at all. But I did take a picture with him before.
That's nice. I think that means a little more because like no one knows if he actually signed it except me. It would have been nice to have taken a picture, but he was so busy, or like not busy, tired. He was so tired. It was like the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then I think the last one I can remember off the top of my head was definitely was some of the Private Suite podcast team, especially with Indy and Rich from them. I definitely met them for the first time too. Definitely pretty cool, especially hearing over like 100 episodes with your voices. So it's definitely nice to meet them in person.
That is awesome. Yeah, they're super nice. I didn't know who they were, and I hung out with them for like a whole night. No, a whole day. We like met at Central Park and we hung out, got ramen, and then like hung out at their like hotel thing. It was a lot of fun, and I had no idea who they were. I was like, oh, cool, like, nice. And now I'm like, oh my god, you guys are fucking gods. Look what you've done. Like, Private Suite, rest in peace, but like, Jesus Christ. It, like, their podcast, I especially commend Indy for his podcast, which is one of my inspirations for even starting this.
Yeah, especially definitely Indy was a hardworking podcast host entirely for there. Like each episode was definitely fantastic for Private Suite.
Dan Soko has a question. Chief, how much do you regret not going to Econ 1 and meeting Dan Soko? Question mark.
Definitely a lot now, since I do now know Dan Soko personally. But yeah, I definitely do regret not going to Econ 1, but it's definitely, I couldn't go just due to there was job circumstances during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I did pre-buy the ticket for Econ 1, but then when business did came up, I had to sell that ticket away. And it was definitely it definitely was a hard thing to go through, but at least I was glad that when I sold that ticket off, they were doing the pre-orders for Econ 2, so I switched that money towards that one instead, since I couldn't do that one.
Mm-hmm. Dan Soko is also someone who doesn't like showing his face. He's also... You two and Rosewood are like... Well, you've been a lot more vocal with your face, but yeah. Anyway.
Just spoiler, everybody in the chat, I do show my face, but not on exactly here.
Yeah, and Rosewood, and that's an exclusive online chat room. No, I'm just kidding. It's not, I don't know. It's a world full of friends. And if you're a friend, maybe you may enter, but who knows? It's not up to me. I don't know. I totally explained that wrong, but that's fine. I think, yes, Torch 2424, Groovy, aka Groovy, and Chief, do you see any overlap? Oh wait, hold up. He had another question. Yo, Chief, so what are your top 5 favorite rappers? And Chief, do you see an overlap between vaporwave and hip-hop?
Okay, so I could definitely answer the first one right now, so definitely my top 5 favorite rappers recently is definitely, of course, one's got to be Kendrick Lamar for me. Number 2's got to be Mac Miller. And I always do say rest in peace, Mac Miller, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 would be for me, is definitely Tyler the Creator.
Hell yeah.
Number 4 is an East Coast artist, and he's definitely severely underrated. Is a guy called Joey Badass.
I've never heard of Joey Badass.
He's definitely underrated a lot. His lyrics are always just fantastic. I mean, he definitely seems like he doesn't get enough credit for himself, and I do highly recommend listening to his debut album, 1994. It's fantastic. And my last rap artist I can think of by the top of my head would be let me just take a look here real quickly.
I really love, like, Mac Miller. Well, I really like Tyler, the Creator, and, what's his name? Oh my god. That's fine. You said Kendrick Lamar earlier.
Yes, definitely. Kendrick is always off the top of my list.
Yeah. So you have Mac Miller, Tyler the Creator, Joey Badass. Wait, did you say someone else?
Let's see, just those four for now. I'm still trying to think about the fifth one right now.
The
That
fifth
comes to
one.
mind. Oh, it's definitely okay. Definitely my fifth one. It's a very old '90s rap artist. It's definitely a Tribe Called Quest.
Ooh.
Definitely one of my favorite rap groups.
I haven't even heard of them. I know about like NWA and like Dr. Dre. That's it. Because of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh yeah.
It's like my game.
So that's definitely the first question there. It's definitely my top five rappers right now, and two with definitely the overlapping on vaporwave and hip hop. I definitely think there has been a overlapping, especially happening now. It seems like, especially since when lo-fi hip hop started becoming popular in the late 2010s to now, it seems like especially sampling has been more placed now, especially that is hand in hand now with vaporwave as well with sampling and slowing things down, make everything. There's music for chilling. It definitely feels like there's definitely a big overlap that they can combine. Especially sometime we might see more rap be involved, just like how Dan Mason did with some of his songs. He did include rap into vaporwave somehow, and it
Hmm.
worked.
Yeah, I mean, Vaporwave. Like, it's hard to pinpoint, and I feel like that's why there's so many subgenres, is like, what is Vaporwave and what counts as Vaporwave? I, and, um, like, you can incorporate so many different other musical genres into vaporwave, and it's really interesting. So like something could like literally not sound vaporwave, but because of like certain things it's vaporwave. Like it's it's such an interesting genre. And genre, honestly, as a word, shouldn't be used ever, but like unless you're trying to organize your playlists. That's it.
Agree. It's definitely the term genre is too small to define that entire vaporwave.
Yeah. I want to make emo wave a thing. Are those old film reels in the background? Um, like, I don't think so. I think there are more questions. Yeah, Chief favorite Kendrick Lamar album and song, says Enreilly.
Let's see. Favorite album definitely is to Pimp a Butterfly. It's definitely my favorite album.
Mm.
And my favorite song off of that one is You. That song is definitely it's just so real. It kind of delves into the psyche of an artist finally for the first time, especially how fame can exactly change your friends and family around you. With that, it's definitely just a fantastic album.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I haven't actually listened to it. I'm like, I've listened to, like, Humble and, like, that whole album, and I loved it. So that's why I even say, like, I love Kendrick Lamar, but I'm not really all that keen about rap, really. So, like, when I say
Mm.
I love it, it's probably because I've listened to at least an album, like, I'm in love. But not like every discography because I'm
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, especially with the Humble that is from his latest album, Damn, and that's definitely the most like I guess casual album to get into.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I remember you was conflicted. What does that mean?
Misusing your aesthetics.
Oh.
Sometimes I did the same. I get that. I get that.
Oh, top five rappers. Reese's Puff rapper, Macklemore, Slim Jesus, Jake Paul, and Real. It is just an insult to yourself, Unreal, to put yourself. Well, Reese's Puff rapper is pretty sick, though.
I definitely have to agree with that. I can't compete with that.
Yeah. I listen to all music except rap and country. Well, I mean, to each their own, but rap isn't that bad. I don't listen to it enough to like really back it up, but I do listen to it at least, and I don't listen to country at all. I think that's I don't know.
I can say for country, I definitely like older country, I guess.
Would you say
Like
that
around,
you like Johnny Cash?
yeah, that type of country back then, especially yeah, Johnny Cash, Conway Twitty, and such like that. I do like that. Just modern country is definitely just very meh. It's too generic.
It's it's the exact same thing with like every song. And then like I don't know, they always talk about their tractors and their women and their whiskey. It's very just the same and it's terrible. I'm pretty eclectic though. I mainly listen to rap and vaporwave, some rock. That's actually I like that. You have a good head on your shoulders, IBTV. You go. um so I'm like there what should I ask you next about your visual editing skills? What what would you like to discuss about? Like what do you want to put out in the world? Do you want to put out a world message about anything?
For now, there's nothing really coming to mind, especially with the show as a message. I did have a goal to make a small vapor film, and I already did release that recently. For the first VA10 album, I did do a small music film that was released on my channel with a bunch of other video editors that we did put together. It's about an hour long, and that was one of my goals to get the vapor movie sort of out, and that was
Really?
accomplished.
So is that already posted or like or
Yeah, it is posted on my channel certainly.
wow, okay. That's awesome. I have not checked that out. I'm so sorry, I'm a terrible friend. I have to check that out now. And everyone else should check it out. I'm going to put the socials in there. Wow. How did you guys go about that? Like
It was just basically when we did start the VA10 project, we just wanted to have something with visually and music wise to bring them together. So I thought of well, my own take was definitely put a vapor film together by making music videos for the songs based on that album.
mhm.
And we just had some art editors pick the songs they liked, see what they can do with it, and we just once we put it all together, I did edit together to make it very cohesive and just showed it like that. Usually, it's about half of the album so far that has been showcased, but hopefully, sometime I do want to finish it and do the rest of the songs for that album.
Hell yeah. So we have something to look forward to is like the finish of that. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I have to say. So how long is it? Oh,
It's
thank you,
about
Kyle.
I would about say it an hour ish, if I remember correctly.
Damn. Yes. Well, I have something to watch right after this. CompuSer asks, what are your hopes and dreams, Chief?
My hopes and dreams.
Hopefully they haven't been crushed.
Let's see. My hopes and dreams. I guess my dream would be, of course, is I want to do video editing full time instead of
Mhm.
my other life job. That's definitely a dream I want to definitely attain for. Hopes. Hopes is definitely just for definitely. I guess for now, currently, it's just definitely for the whole current situation to get resolved, so I can start seeing live events again and start meeting people all over again. That's definitely another thing to look forward to once that does come around.
Mhm. Interesting. my hopes and dreams is to promote everyone on my podcast. It's like, and I hope I'm helping you somewhat, although I'm like so small. But yeah, thank you to literally like everyone who's watching right now. Chiefahleaf is awesome, and he really does do amazing work, and I'm gonna link your stuff again. But yeah, like, it means a lot, and you guys should check him out if you don't know him already. So, Shiro City asked, Chiefahleaf, have you ever told anyone to go fuck themselves?
So the only thing I could say is within Rosewood, apparently so. That's all I can say.
Oh, really? Apparently?
Apparently. I do not remember this correctly because I was in a different state. That's all I can say about that.
Different state of mind?
Different state of mind with substance. I guess that's what I paraphrase it.
Yes. Alright. I guess we're gonna just end it on that. On that note.
And Shiro does know this one in detail, but that's it. That's all we go for.
And Rayleigh asked, Chief, favorite Daft Punk song and album?
Favorite album, Discovery. 10 out of 10. Fantastic album. Always will play it forward to back in one listen. Favorite song, definitely Face to Face. Face to Face or Voyager is definitely my favorite.
Interesting. Chief, what do you do for fun other than make videos?
I guess
So
for quote unquote for fun, I guess I do lead the VA10 Association and lead those projects and other releases with that, so I definitely work on that most of the time when I don't work on videos. And definitely the last thing I do, if I do have free time still left, is definitely just play video games.
What do you play?
Usually multiplayer games with one of my closer friends. Of course, just play anything such as Destiny, Call of Duty, just very casual things for now.
Yeah, we played Call of Duty once. We gotta get back on that.
Yeah, definitely one of these days.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get back into gaming in general.
Yeah, it's definitely been I've been away for too long.
Would you say that you also, for fun, hang out with your Rosewood gang?
Yes, I definitely do say a lot too. I definitely do spend a lot of weekend chats as well with Rosewood, especially during these concert events.
Yeah. Which is so much fun, and we all get together and talk and discuss about music while we watch the streams, which is awesome. Chief, what's your favorite video game? Ask Enrayleigh.
Favorite video game? Wow. See, definitely the biggest game I can definitely think off the top of my head is definitely Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Nice. I've never played Mass Effect.
Fantastic game. It's an RPG game, but definitely the best thing about that game, it's a trilogy, so the funnest thing about that game is when you make your choices and your character in the first game, you can take your save through every game, and the choices do come along with it, so whatever you do make in the first game will actually affect the third game in some way.
The third game?
Yes, your choices will matter that long ways. Even if
Are
you play
you
a small...
serious?
Yeah, there is as an example, there's an expansion you can play in Mass Effect 1. And it's just a small expansion, but if you played that and if you do a side mission in Mass Effect 3, you will see a character from that expansion, and he'll come back and do revenge for you for what you did for that small expansion. It plays off that way.
That is so incredible. I don't know how that could even be done. That's awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing.
it blows my mind. It's still to this day that how they made everything work. Since every small thing you can make a choice and it pays off somewhere in those games.
The only thing I knew about like Mass Effect was like Mass Effect Andromeda, I believe, and how like the graphics for that game was so crazy
It was
bad.
definitely pretty iffy.
Yeah,
Pretty iffy.
it's like it was really bad. Shiro City asks, ask Chief to talk about Heatwave event. About the Heatwave event. I don't know what that means. Is that the next Rosewood event?
No, it was a previous, I guess, sort of a VA10 event. I guess that was sort of gonna host. Since I guess one thing I'll let everybody know is I do live in Arizona, so I was inspired by Ronnie actually from Vaporspace when he was working on his IRL events. And I wanted to do something like that to definitely increase the vapor scene, especially RRL events wise. So I was partnered up with a couple of other colleagues in the area as well to set up a live event here as well. We were about to get that ready. It was called Heatwave, and we did have young Shiro as part of that roster that was going to play for this event until the whole pandemic event did come arise. So that has been delayed for now, but hopefully once everything does go back to normal, we will definitely continue that event and we will actually fully list it again.
That is so cool. And young Shiro's gonna be a part of that. Hell yeah. Woo woo. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it gives me time as a friend to like maybe I could go to that future events and support you guys.
It definitely would be fantastic. We did have a really good roster, and hopefully we'll show that roster again soon because it was a really fantastic and diverse roster.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. And Rayleigh says, I had a dream that I was in Mass Effect Andromeda like 3 nights ago, and I was like, holy shit, this game really bad. Wait. Holy shit, this game is really... Wait. Take 3. Holy shit, this game really is bad. LMFAO. Yep. I'm bad at reading, I guess.
I definitely do say, like, the game is not that bad. Like, it doesn't live up to the trilogy, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody did say. I did play through that entire game.
So you would say, like, once you get through the graphics being crappy, the game itself is actually good?
It's not bad. The graphics did get better. They did make a bunch of updates to the game, and it's definitely not bad now. It's pretty decent for at least the graphics. But definitely the entire game, it's definitely it's pretty decent. It's definitely a game I don't mind playing, but like I said, it definitely doesn't live up to the original trilogy.
Well, I mean, they have time to improve, and like, I don't know. With the new technology, they better like do better with their graphics and stuff. You can only hope. Yeah.
Hopefully, but they did come out recently with what was that game? Anthem, and it did really bad. So I definitely
So your expectations went even lower.
Yeah, I don't have too much hope right now.
Oh, that's so sad.
So hopefully they can make me say I'm wrong. Hopefully one of these days.
I have a question. You've done a lot for like visuals for Rosewood. How do you like that? I guess like, are you happy to do all this, or? I mean, I'm sure you're not upset. I'm sure about that one, but like, yeah.
It definitely makes me. I'm definitely always glad to do visuals for these events, especially for Rosewood. I wouldn't have been. I guess I wouldn't have done visuals in the first place like this until Rosewood did ask me to do their first couple events, and I feel like I always gotta definitely just put my best cards on the front with each event that I get asked for. So I do have fun with them all the time.
Yeah, it kind of like Like it helps you improve. Like, you're like, I'm
And
gonna do better.
it does take me away from my real life and just makes me focus on the visuals, kind of do what
Yeah.
I want to do.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, these URL shows definitely are something to like take away. Like it, you can just watch this and feel like, oh, cool, I'm a part of something. And instead of just being home during a pandemic, all sad about like not being able to go to a concert, but you get to experience at least something and be, I don't know, distracted, which is nice, I would say. Who's your
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
Wait, I think I asked you already. Who's your favorite, like, Rosewood, like, visuals? Or is that controversial? Would you say the
Hmm.
last person you did visuals for Rosewood? Because you said you
Hmm.
got better each time.
Yeah, I definitely say my favorite one is my most recent one, just because I did learn new skills and I did apply it. So definitely, Groovy Kaiju's was the most recent set I did, and I did apply it. Got some new styles and applied it towards that set. And
Hell yeah.
I did really like that one a lot. And
Um,
like I said, it definitely does show, like I said, especially with most recently, the views for that have been shooting up to like around 500 and above for that. So I'm glad everybody does like that too.
yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it's awesome that you post them on your YouTube, like, that we can go back on. It's really awesome. Like, thank you. And really ask Chief, do your visuals have walls?
Yes, there is walls in the footage.
I don't know what that means. I'm like,
It's an insider Rosewood thing.
oh, can I be inside? Can I be a part of this? Can
Yeah,
we be a part of this?
I don't know. The joke for that is definitely too intricate. I think I'll just bore everybody if we explain that whole thing that would happen about walls. Hopefully, one of these days when we have a very long day, I can explain that finally. But I think I'll bore everybody first before I get to that point.
That's fine. You're totally fine. I will just make Enreally tell me later.
Yeah, you could also ask Nrail personally as well. See what happens.
Luckily. um, when, how did you get involved with VA? VA10.
Actually, it was actually kind of funny. So that was during I made that about 2 years ago. I think about a year ago now, I believe. So back then, I was in between jobs, looking around for a while, and I was just kind of just bored, just waiting on just getting calls for the next job and such. The first thing I did see was there was a article that someone had posted on our Vapor back then. I believe his name was, I think it was Ryan Blathner NYC, if I remember correctly, and it was just basically saying about that unofficially or slash officially that Vaporwave was supposed to turn 10 years old within June of 2019, since the first ever Vaporwave song and visuals that were put together was Nobody's Here, of course, by Sunset Corp. Quote unquote, Daniel Lopatin or Chuck Persons. That was his channel he posted back then. And it definitely accelerated even more to see that when Pat Tennington also did a video based on when the official 10th anniversary should be for Vaporwave, and he did point to that as well. It was supposed to be that date in June of last year. So I was looking around Twitter, everything for social media on Vapor, and no one was talking about doing any celebration at all. And while I was just in between jobs, I felt like I wanted to do something, just of course keep my mind busy, because what else was I going to do rather than just play video games? So I proposed a crazy idea. I posted it everywhere to say, what if we can do this, make it based and make something fun, make the community more closer, and do it for a good cause. So I posted that proposal on the Vaporwave subreddit, and I was just like, okay, well, if no one responds, at least I tried.
Mhm.
And initial response to that was I did get over about 500 upvotes, and people were asking me how to join on this idea. So I
Wow.
was very overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. It was my first time get something like this, so I made a Discord about this, trying to figure out how to invite everybody, how to set this Discord, and how to make these guidelines. And it was
Mhm.
just like the first like 3 days were nothing but me staying up 24/7, figuring out, talking to people, and trying to get everything in place. So it was definitely I did not sleep a lot
Oh my
in that first
god.
week, and
Wow.
eventually like I got artists that I thought I was just really big fans of that were joining, such as Golden Living Room was messaged us like wanted to make a song for it, and I was just like, no way.
What?
And then just that was that blew my mind, especially I never thought, especially when the first label that was going to be hosting us for this was My Pet Flamingo. They contacted me personally as well, saying they wanted to release a project, and I never thought I would talk to My Pet Flamingo, even though I bought many of their albums and many of their
Mhm.
releases before, and I got to talk to them.
That is so cool. Oh my
And
god.
it just kind of just took off. I have some really good friends now from there, and I got really lucky with it. And we have so many different projects now. Co-poster for VA10 Association, where now we have over 6 albums released, especially with including such as Copy Sir on here. He has definitely been a part of the association twice for 2 projects, and he's working both them fantastic. And we always do have more
Wow.
artists join on each release, especially we are having a current project now we're working on. Hopefully, we can have more artists join us in that one.
That is so cool. Oh my god. So, like, basically, this one idea basically snowballed.
Yeah, it definitely it was just a crazy idea I had in my mind. Just one Wednesday afternoon,
Mhm.
posted it, and just here we are now. Definitely posted with so many projects, and
That is
I'm just
so
working that constantly
amazing.
with that. Especially, I always like to say, I guess I'm just a major big vaporwave fanboy that got to work on stuff with artists now.
That is so cool. I, wow. Okay, that's awesome. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't know that you were like the start of that. That's really awesome. I'm so sorry, but like, yeah, that's awesome though.
No, it's
Wow.
definitely fine. Like I said, definitely some people are still trying to figure out where the real beginning was. I tell them it's just that
Mhm.
crazy proposal, and they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Wow. Um, and Rayleigh asks, do you think there's gonna be a VA 15 or VA 20?
Possibly. Definitely the future. I don't know what the future holds for us yet, but hopefully we do make it to beyond that VA 20 or 15. Maybe we could do something like that. But so far, we are just making new projects every couple of months, and we're just working with them and still having fun with it.
Mm, that's awesome. So, how many people do you work with on that?
Currently, right now, I believe our current membership count is around, I think, 99 people in our Discord server.
Mhm. Yeah, I. How many people are actually like working though? Because I'm in that Discord server.
I would probably say actively working on each project, probably around 30 to 40 people most of the
30,
time.
40 people. Yeah.
30, 40 people, and definitely it changes every time with different rosters.
Mhm. Is that Discord server open to the public, or is it just like you opened it for that time and then like?
Oh yeah, it's always open for anybody to join, especially if you're
Wow.
a vapor creator or an enthusiast. If you want to ever join and propose some ideas and what we can do, everybody's always available to join.
That's
It, it,
awesome.
it's always been a community thing, and it will always be community based. It's make us get closer together.
So inclusive. I love that. That's awesome. Um, so like, how do you? Well, um, how do you work with artists with from that? Like, when my pet flamingo contacted you, like, what happened from there?
Basically, I when the first 3 days, it was definitely rough. I guess it was definitely the first day was trying to figure out how to make up of who should be where. Definitely, it was my first time ever making a Discord server, and that was actually my first time getting into Discord in general too. Was I never know how Discord worked back then, so I was trying to figure out and try to know the idea about roles, channels, and it was definitely overwhelming to me. It was just like those first 2 days, I just never would thought I could get some of this. I was completely overwhelmed for a while until I finally just figured it out.
Yeah,
But
I
definitely
mean,
the
go
oh
on.
sorry
Sorry.
you.
No, go on. Sorry. I'll.
But definitely the next overwhelming thing was when during in that subreddit post was in that subreddit poster was my pet flamingo said yes we'll definitely host a release there, and they did contact me personally on my Twitter back then because I didn't have a VA10 Twitter as of that time, so I was just definitely contacting them when we're supposed to have a time when the project's supposed to be put together, mastering, and we're supposed to have a release date together, and that was my first time ever figuring everything out, how to organize everything together. So it was
Yeah.
a rough process, but I was glad to at least get that knowledge. So now everything now is just completely really easy.
Yeah. I still don't know I have a Discord server myself, and I like don't know anything about it. But like the more you know, the simpler it gets. That's how I feel with like Streamlabs and this whole stream. Like I had no idea, but it's actually extremely simple. But
I agree, and it was definitely a nice thing to hear that. I guess our Vapor Discord is so organized that we have a bunch of guest artists that join now, such as Room 107 said that we're definitely like one of the most best, or Room 208 said our server is like one of the best Discords in the entire community right now, and definitely that made me feel proud that all that work paid off.
yeah, I would say it's true. I mean, there's a lot of like toxic vaporwave Discord servers and ones that are not really like all that organized. Because I mean, a lot of people, I feel like it also, um, a lot of people made Discord servers recently due to the pandemic and URL shows um, like Fiber with his Montaigne thing, like started a Discord and it kind of just went nowhere. It's kind of hard. It's not easy, and for someone to like commend you, and I'm sure everyone in that server has commended your server being really nice because it's very crazy on a lot of other servers. Is what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say. I've joined a lot. I've joined a lot of Discord servers.
yeah. There's too many Discord servers. I'm just glad that the one that kept me sane was just definitely my moderators in there. Definitely the oldest members in the group, and they definitely taught me how to do everything, and they definitely helped me along to keep me sane, and definitely built the foundations where we are now. I wouldn't have gone anywhere close to where this would be without my moderators.
Yeah, thank God for other people who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shiro City asks, Chief, would you let Smug Duck join VA10? Question mark.
For now, is we can definitely say there, due to certain previous events, he was definitely let go from the association for certain situations, but that's just not to discuss. He is definitely out of the association for now and on.
Oh. It's. I'm like, is what he did. I'm not even. You know what? We're just gonna pass that because it could be controversial.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like I said, there was a situation that happened. Don't want to get too much into it, and he's just say for now he's definitely been out of the association, and that's it. That's the only
I
thing to
think
it.
that
He's
was
definitely
very
out.
proper and professional to say it in that way. So, like, no hate towards Smug Duck, but, uh, yeah. Duck was in. Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. um, yeah. Who's your favorite Rosewood artist? I'm always like, who's your favorite friend, basically? Like,
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. um, that's fine.
I'm
Um,
sorry, Shiro. No one would know.
no, let's get the real facts. Shiro wants to be your favorite. That's why he's saying that.
My favorite is that person.
That person.
That's that person. Who it might be that person? I don't know.
The world. I don't know this quote. The world may never know. That's it. I don't know. I'm like trying to quote that Tootsie Pop commercial. Whatever. Um, so we have like 30 minutes left. Let's see what we can talk about. How was your Halloween?
It was definitely a pretty slow night. Definitely worked some things out, especially real life and also VA10 wise. So it was pretty slow
Mm.
night. Nothing too exciting.
Did you see the Vapor Space Halloween special with Mesh?
Sadly, I missed that event. I was busy working on personal life things during that time, so I did not get to catch that event
Oh,
live.
I was on that. Like, he used my voice twice. It was awesome. That's fine, though.
Oh, I need to rewatch that one of these days. Then.
Is it on, like, anything? Like, can we rewatch those?
I don't know. I'll see if I try to find it.
Yeah. That's what, like, why I'm gonna continue commending you for posting your stuff, because, like, there's so many streams where I want to look back on. Dudes. Like, dang it. You worked with Vapor Space before and Ronnie. How is that? Right?
I was yeah,
Yeah,
I
you.
definitely worked with Ronnie on one of the Vapor Space shows before.
Yeah. We already talked about Hawaii 94, so that was the set, correct? That you worked with
Yeah,
Vapor Space. How was working with Ronnie on that?
Ronnie was definitely a really top class gentleman on that. He definitely
Mm-hmm.
every time like I was busy with other life things at the moment, and Ronnie would every time when he announces another event, he would say, "Do you want to join this one?" Because he asked me 2 or 3 times. He's like, "Do you have time now?" He's like, "I really want to get you on." I was like, so I finally had to open time for it, and that's when he felt like he definitely recommended me to match up with Hawaii '94. That was his definitely personal recommendation. So I went like,
Mm.
I'll definitely do that. I'll go off the recommendation. That's where it ended up, and definitely seemed like that just really worked out perfectly fine. Especially it challenged me because I never thought I would do chill wave for visual. I was glad to really do it justice in some way.
Oh, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, Ronnie is a fucking swell guy. Love that
Ronnie is
guy.
fantastic, man.
And Vapor Space in a whole has been so, like, well done, in my opinion. There's so many festivals that have gone on and they go through a lot of technical difficulties, but Ronnie, like, just fucking knocks it out of the park and, like, it's perfect. I don't know. In my opinion. My humble opinion.
Yeah,
My
he always
kind of
definitely
biased
he
opinion.
always makes sure the quality is top notch for these shows, and it always shows.
Yeah, and they definitely are. Um, yeah. Would you like to work on another Vapor Space show?
Hopefully one of these days. I would definitely like to do another show again. Hopefully one of these days.
Yeah, that would be nice. He's continuing Vapor Space, right? That's like, like he's not
Uh,
killing it anymore. I believe
I
he
believe he,
tried.
yeah, I believe he's. I guess he's slowing down on URL events, but he's
Hmm.
definitely still doing the IRL events once everything does come out.
Yeah. You know, there are some, I mean, not some, there are like concerts and stuff that uses visual effects in the background. Like, I mean, I guess I could use the example with like the TVs at Econ. Would you ever want to do a project like that where you incorporated your visuals or something in the background or as like an effect to even walk past?
I'm not too sure about, I guess, live visuals like that, but I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely like to do visuals for an artist for IRL events or such in the
Mm-hmm.
background. I definitely would like to do that because that definitely what inspired me was definitely seeing Message set
Mm-hmm.
during Econ One, like how you
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
sort of live visuals with forgot the other, what was like Mike Video Boxers. I think that's what the
Mm.
person's name was, but he was actually making visuals live with Mesh on there, and that was really cool to see. I was trying to do something like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Dude, like George Clanton really like made something special with Electronicon. He made a world of possibilities, especially for vaporwave in a whole as a whole. Yeah. Would you ever like want to work with George Clanton?
I mean, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Well, I wouldn't because I would be like, what do I do? What does one do? I don't. I'll just be your personal like cheerleader. Oh wait, he already has that, Lindsay. Oh, and really, he's so good with questions. And really asked, Chief, what do you do for a living? I think he mentioned that.
Let's see. So, I guess for my real life job, I guess simplest way to put it is tech support.
Tech support, yeah.
Definitely,
Um,
I'm a computer person, and it definitely, that's what I do for my other part of my life.
do you think when we return from quarantine, live visuals will be much more prominent in the vaporwave scene?
It definitely seems like, for sure, we're going to definitely see more visuals and live visuals be more present, especially since now we have a real big connection, especially with other visual artists such as All Hell Breaks Loops, Sleepy Orange, and also Tropical Virtual, such as their work is just so fantastic, especially when it does deliver on what the artist's songs showcase. So I think it's going to be more hand in hand, especially in IRL as well.
Yeah, tropical virtual is so cool. Would you ever be a part of like what Pacific Plaza is doing? His live work? Like what is it called? Oh my god, I literally uh like there are shows that are in LA. Would you ever like be a part of that?
Yeah, I definitely would like to
You
definitely
live in
participate in that.
Blakey.
That's why I definitely for now, like I wanted to do a test project with what we were gonna do with our heat wave event prior
Mhm.
for IRL events based in Arizona. That's what we're gonna try sometime. So hopefully,
Yeah. Is the equipment for that really expensive? Like, do you have it or do you have to obtain it?
mm, most of it when I was setting up for the event based in Arizona, it was most of the bars
Virtual
and
memory,
the
thank
live
you.
events already had that on hand. You just have to place it yourself, and the course due to setting up was the only thing they would ask you to do.
Mhm. Okay. And yeah, thank you, and really, virtual memory is what I was talking about. Um, Chief, do you have any interest in live lighting, slash lasers and shit?
Yeah, I definitely have some interest, especially to see if I can work lasers. Especially if we ever do get the IRL events, I definitely would like to try to work that out. So I could definitely have our showcase artists definitely have a lot more hype and visuals to be included with that once we do get that going.
Hmm, yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, that's. I'm like, now what? But it's fine. I could use some more questions. What inspires you? Oh my god. What inspires you? What makes you passionate?
Passionate? Hmm. I guess for me, I guess definitely first things first is I guess now since I did make these music videos and now with the A10 Association, it's just I guess I figured out my purpose right now. It's just I love music. I definitely feel like it's a part of me that I never knew I had for a long time. So finally
Mm-hmm.
put it together, and it does feel fantastic now to definitely have new artists, especially new up and comers. Definitely want to experiment without much putting too much risk there. That's why I definitely want to make these new albums. It definitely just
Mm.
makes them feel like they can experiment what they like. They can move forward with themselves, and I definitely feel like I feel glad to definitely help out with that because
You're a good
even the
person.
smaller artists definitely need a chance to get noticed, especially on the bigger side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You're such a good person, like inside and out.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. You're great. Really. That's so
I don't
nice.
know. I'm okay for now. One of these days, I'll definitely earn that title.
Chief, have you ever considered making music?
For me right now, I would love to try, but I wouldn't know. I experimented with GarageBand back then and video editing. I guess in my high school days as well, and I like that. But right now, I try to open up different DAWs, and I just don't know what to do. Hopefully,
Hmm.
one of these days, if I can get my head around it, I'll be able to try experiment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like music is difficult. Like, I think everything's difficult. I'm not like talented in the least bit. I'm just like, I'm gonna try this, but I don't know. I can't be a self-taught person. I have to I need someone to like literally teach me or I don't get it. I'm a boomer at heart, even though I'm a zoomer.
I say you did fantastic things. I mean, you did something more challenging than I ever thought. That I probably could never do is make a podcast, and you also invited you on here too. So you did fantastic.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like I think I could talk. Podcasts require talking, even though I am also really bad with talking. um, Ooh, and really, he also asked the last question, which I forgot to mention, but and really asked another question. If you did music, what style slash genre would you go for?
I feel like the only dream project I would love to do with music first was I wanted to do a Vapor album based on one of my favorite video game soundtracks ever. It was
Mm-hmm.
a video game called Bomberman Hero, and that entire soundtrack is just pure drum and bass perfection. So I wanted to make a Vapor album based with that, just with that drum and bass to work. And once I do figure out how music works for myself, I do want to get that out sometime.
Mm-hmm. Nice. You're not gonna try emo wave?
I mean, there's so many ideas in the wave. I mean, I used to be an emo, but I have lost that. I have lost that trend a long time ago. I even know where to be at with it.
Wait, what part of the train were you on? Were you like 90s emo, early 2000s emo.
2000s, I guess. Definitely just because I did date someone in high school that was very 2000s emo
Mhm.
based stuff, so I got dragged along with it as well. So
Mhm. Yeah, definitely me. I'm early 2000s emo, even though like I didn't get into emo music till maybe 2015 or 2014. No, 2015 for sure.
yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
were way past the train. I was definitely
I
in the
was
middle of
so
that.
past the train when I got into it. Uh, everyone, but like everyone that was like that I met was younger than me. They were like all like babies, middle schoolers, and I was just like in this fandom full of young people. It's like, okay, still love the music. I'm not past the phase. Sorry, I'm like I can't let go of it. Bomberman Hero soundtrack is fucking incredible.
I'm glad someone really likes that soundtrack too. Like it's just so good.
Yeah. Well, and really has a good taste. I gotta say, it's a good taste in music.
I agree. We just didn't really fell off. You can make it far.
Yeah. Um. We could talk about Tokyo Wanderer again. I literally put his music on because I'm like, I love Tokyo Wanderer. Thank you, Porter Vong. Oh my god. Thank you for following. You're the best. Love ya, dude.
Porter Vong is an amazing man, and he was definitely the first fan I ever met that wanted to take a picture of me in Econ, and it was definitely
Mhm.
that definitely definitely surprised me too. So Porter Vong is definitely the man of the winner
Dude.
circle.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember listening to Porter Vong's like EP or something. I think it was EP or album that he released right before Econ. And when I met him, I was like, "Oh God, like you're so cool. I really liked your music." Porter's awesome. He's super nice
Yeah,
and like person. Wasn't he
yeah,
like
fantastic
not
guy.
going to like mention or I mean, he's here. Isn't he part of the I'm not gonna show my face gang, but then actually showed his face?
Yeah, yeah, I remember Porter was definitely pretty conspicuous for a good while, but then when he finally showed his face at the Econ one, he still showed up as as Tom Vu. Basically,
Yeah.
it was
His
amazing,
character.
especially he showed up at the Tate Spot too as still
Mhm.
Tom Vu with his boatwear. That was amazing.
Aww. Oh my god, Porter. He's like, I love you, Chief. Thanks so much for supporting me. Meeting you at Econ was so special. And then he continues with saying nice things to me, which is really nice. Thank you, Porter Bong. You're the best. I think I think I'm getting flushed. Like, oh, thank you for coming. It means so much. Shiro City's like, Bomber Man Hero is the shit, Chief. Favorite track from the OST? Mine is Redial. I think,
Oh
I don't know.
yeah, so my favorite song from the soundtrack is Foaming. Let's see if I can type it because this song hits so hard. Definitely one of my favorite boss fights.
Aw, Porter. Um, and Riley says my fave is Tripod.
Tripod
Nice.
is really good too.
Nice. I'm sorry, I haven't heard of that. I'm like, that's cool.
Now you know what to do, and really,
Yeah. Teach me this music. What are we talking about? What did I miss? I would love to hear how the latest VA10 project is going. Ooh, that is such a good question. How is that going?
Yeah, so we did just start about a week ago now. Just we did start our latest VA10 project now. We were voting on the what genre and take to do this time, and it looks like the winning vote was for to do a dream punk album. So everybody was pretty excited for that. So it looks like we're just now just waiting for. We voted on just recently to the charity organization we're going to donate the profits to.
Mm-hmm.
For now, and it was looks like I proposed that we just give our profits over to getting the recovery of Problema back to its original form. So we're
Mm-hmm.
donating all the profits to No Problema. They help them recover as soon as possible.
Awesome.
And now we're just waiting for submissions to come in, especially what we're going to hear. Then we're going to make cover art and the album cover, or the album title, as soon as possible as well. But it's still pretty early in the project now. I mean, anybody's willing to join if they want to. We're definitely not rejecting anybody.
That's so awesome. VA10 Dream Punk. Wow. I have a Dream Punk song you can use, says Enrayli. Oh, Porter Vong asked, am I welcome to sign up? Do you want to link it in chat?
Yeah, so I could definitely link towards the towards my Twitter, or towards the VA10 Association Twitter. You could definitely contact that through private messages. The DMs are always open there, or you can also send an email directly to is va10@protonmail.com as well. You can also ask questions that way as well. Definitely those two options are the best. And I will
Awesome.
also type in the email address in the chat if you ever want to email directly, just for questions or submissions as well if you don't want to contact by Twitter.
Awesome. Ooh, awesome. I love that.
And also, Porter, since you're already in the Discord for the VH Association, of course you can always join.
Nice. Well, we have like 2 minutes left. Would you like to promote anything?
For now, like I said, definitely, like I said, if you're a vapor creator and you want to experiment with something, definitely join the VH Association. Not rejecting anyone, and just keep an eye out for now. Is I'm doing the latest Rosewood event for the back-to-back event with Vaporwave Shine and Mittens, and I hope you keep an eye out for that because it's definitely going to be a really fun set I'm doing with this one.
Yeah.
And just keep an eye out as well. I am joining other events as well, making visuals for, so keep an eye out for that when it does get announced.
Yeah, and I am gonna be doing a podcast with Sev next Sunday. I believe so. Oh my god, let me actually make sure. Like, calendar? Yes, I'm doing a podcast with Sev, who is part of the next Rosewood event. So we're gonna do a little podcast together and also, promote Sev and his music and Rosewood. Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it, really. Thank you so much.
Other than that, you definitely gotta ask Sev about these boss questions. I gotta hear this personally.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him about Mario. I'm probably gonna ask him what are like the best moves in Smash Brothers. Can't wait. I'm pretty excited to interview him. By the way, thank you so much for joining me today. Like, dude, thank you. It means the absolute world, and you're the coolest, and I'm so glad that if this does promote you in any way, shape, or form, I'm glad.
No, thank you a lot. I never thought I'd be on a podcast, and I'm glad to definitely have this conversation with you. Especially, never thought I would get to have
Yeah.
this much fun right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it was fun. Probably see you in Rosewood and see everybody in Rosewood, or not Rose. Wait, sorry. Um, not everybody. See you on Twitter, though. Love you guys. This is it. That's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good night. Oh, wait. How are you so talented and handsome, Chief? Go. Go. Hurry.
32.
32. All right. Bye.